To connect with your highest self, you must first be willing to step into the silence of your own heart, to hold yourself with compassion, and to trust that within you lies the map to your highest timeline. Have you ever felt that knowing that there's got to be something more, that life doesn't have to be this difficult? What if I told you that aligning your life to the voice of the divine and to your highest self can unlock your true purpose and your highest timeline? And that is how you will achieve the joy, happiness, peace, and fulfillment that you seek. Doing this requires finding alignment with the divine for your life. Imagine a life where every decision you make, thought you think, and perspective you choose resonates with your deepest truth and your life purpose path. You feel that tingling vibration of rightness all throughout your body. You have that deep sense of knowing this is right for me. I'm on the right path. Imagine feeling so aligned in your life that you fall in love with your life over and over every single day. It is possible, but it requires finding alignment in every moment, every thought, perspective, and decision, and understanding how to discern whether or not it's aligned to your highest self and your highest timeline. Yes, it can be challenging to move from the life that we built through egoic desires. It's not always rainbows and sunshine, and sometimes there will be challenges. And yet, there is a strange sense of peace in knowing through those challenges we are undoing egoic timelines and stepping into realignment with the divine. In order to find alignment in your life, it's important to understand what is the highest self? What is your highest timeline? So let's clarify some definitions here before we get started. It can be challenging to articulate because it's a felt sense, something that you have to feel your way into, but I'll do my best to define it in words for you today. Some would say your highest self is the part of you that's unencumbered by ego. It has no belief in separation. Others would say it's the part of you that's eternal, or the part of you that's conscious and aware. Some would say it's your real self, or your soul. I personally align to the understanding that my highest self is the highest version of me, the part of me that has already realized my highest potential, the version of us that God has designed us to be. I also see my highest timeline as intimately connected with my highest potential again, that version of us that is able to live a Christ-like state of being, the one who expresses unconditional love and compassion and always sees the good in others. In our highest timeline, we are fully empowered, utilizing our gifts to be of service and fulfilling our divine life purpose. Now, if you struggle to identify this for yourself, you might want to ask a few of these questions. What is my highest expression? What does the best, highest possible version of me look like? Who did my creator design me to be? How does he or she talk, walk, and think? What beliefs does he or she hold? What impact does he or she have on the world? You can even get into the specifics of the details of your life. What does your love life look like? What does your health look like? What does your body look like when you honor it as the temple of the spirit that it is? How do you care for that vessel? What do your finances look like? Are you a good steward of your God-given resources? Do you utilize your God-given power and authority in your life? How are you of service to the collective whole? What does your spiritual life look like? How do you cultivate intimacy with the divine? Those of us who are committed to stepping into our highest self and our highest timeline, we're also committed to growth and healing so that we can return to oneness and unity with the divine. As you progress down this path, you start to understand that requires alignment. Alignment is that felt sense within you that knows I'm on the right track. This is the right decision. I have chosen the right perspective. But finding alignment requires discernment. And like I said, it's a felt sense. It's not something that you can just speak into being. Committing to this path is not for the faint of heart. When you commit to your life purpose path or stepping into your highest self or your highest timeline or who God made you to be, it will set in motion changes that might rock your world. When I did this, I did not realize all of the different challenges that I would face. We end up having to embrace every shadow, and there is no stone left unturned. It's not an easy process, but it is very, very worth it. And just when you think every shadow has been revealed, more will present itself. And when you think you finally know who you are, you will add a new shade or color to your tapestry. The evolution and the expansion are unending. And so again, it's critical to have the skill of finding alignment in every moment. Learning how to hold yourself through these processes means becoming your own best friend, becoming your own cheerleader, and learning how to have intimacy with the divine so that you can call in the peace and the guidance necessary when it gets challenging. At the same time, you also learn how to command your power and authority in your life. You learn how to call in grace when it is needed. You learn how to call in provision when it is needed. And you don't do it from a place of wanting or needing, but rather from a place of certainty and commanding with authority. You start to realize firsthand that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And yes, while we are a critical component of the co-creative process, there is a delicate balance in the belief in yourself and the reliance on the divine. It is co-creative. So the first step is getting to know your highest self. And my favorite tip for doing this is using the phrase, calling in full embodied awakening now. And as you practice this, especially if you start to do this every time you meditate, you will start to feel a rush of your higher self energy coming into your body, fully embodied now. Once you do this, you can start to feel into or meditate on your highest timeline. If you struggle to visualize what that looks like, ask God for clarity. Ask for eyes to see and ears to hear. Ask for guidance. Ask to be shown a vision. What is the divine will for my life? Then wait in peace and trust and know that it will come either in that meditation or in a dream, or at some point in the future, you'll get little breadcrumbs and pieces of the puzzle will start to come together. As you start to sharpen your skill of discernment and receiving guidance, this is how you create intimacy with the divine. You're constantly in communication, bouncing back and forth between question and answer. I like to think of God as the cosmic Google. Ask questions and you are guaranteed to receive answers. There is no question too small or insignificant. Just keep in mind, the first answer you receive is usually your intuition or your guidance, and anything that comes after that is the ego or the voice of trauma trying to confuse and put you on that hamster wheel of thought that never really actually solves any problems. And this is where the challenging part of alignment comes in. There will be moments where you receive guidance and you make a decision or you make a choice or you choose a perspective that will feel out of alignment. You know you're out of alignment when you feel sort of like the nails on the chalkboard, or you feel sick to your stomach, or you're struggling, or you're feeling uncertainty or doubt. This is where we have to utilize the tuning fork of our body that helps us understand when we're in alignment or out of alignment. When you have a misaligned thought or an untrue thought, it will feel bad in the body. It'll feel yucky. It'll feel crappy. If you have a true thought or you're stepping closer into alignment, it will feel good in the body. And if you find yourself out of alignment, take the time to sit with yourself and ask a few questions. Get into your journal or start to externalize your thoughts as best you can. You want to ask, am I feeling triggered by something? If I am feeling triggered, get into the body and understand, where does this come from? How old does this feel? This is why I offer trauma spotting, to help you get into the body and remove these blocks. The triggered response is going to block you from finding the alignment. So once you move through the trigger and you close that stress loop in your body, or that stress response in your body, utilize the trauma spotting sessions that are linked in the bio, then you can move into, what are my beliefs? What is the perspective that I'm holding around this person, place, or thing that is putting me at odds with my desire? A good example would be in a relationship. If I have a belief that he should do the dishes, or he should put the toilet seat down, or he should provide so much financially, and that isn't happening, then you have the choice to let go of that perspective or belief. You get to choose. Do I want to be right and hold on to my should, or do I want to have a good relationship? Now, some of that can be driven by trauma. If I had a belief that I am not safe unless these things happen, then there's a stress response that needs to be closed. So then I can move into shifting my belief. I might choose to say, maybe I'll hire a cleaner, somebody that can help me. Maybe I'm willing to be a contributor or partial provider. Whatever you need to move into. I like to call it the perspective dance. You're moving around an object. So as I move this pointer from here to here to here, it has a different shape. It takes on a new meaning. It has a new size or relative weight to the other things in the environment. We do the same thing by dancing around our perspectives and our beliefs to find the thing that feels most aligned in your body. Following what feels good, not from a selfish, egoic perspective. People say, oh yeah, I feel good when I eat a tub of ice cream. I beg to differ. I bet you feel like crap. Actually, that's an egoic desire. When you follow what feels right in the body, that is how you find alignment. But it will require you letting go or shifting or being willing to change your perspective and your beliefs. Now, if you find yourself really struggling to let go of a belief, then again, that is likely connected to an unhealed trauma. We talk a lot about subconscious programming, and it can seem so elusive because I can't control my subconscious with my conscious mind because it is below conscious awareness. But the subconscious does present through the body. So when I struggle to let go of a belief, if I find myself clinging to something and saying, I cannot live without this belief, or I absolutely cannot believe anything else, then you want to look at the sensations in the body and start to understand how old does that feeling feel? Because there is a part of you, an older version of you, maybe a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old or a 20-year-old who has decided to cling to this belief because that part of you believes it is necessary for survival now. So subconscious programming comes from partnering with those old parts. And again, utilize trauma spotting, free session link in the bio, like magic for reprogramming your subconscious and breaking free, stepping into your highest purpose, into your highest self and your highest timeline. The best news about all of this is that your miracle is here now. Your highest self, your highest timeline exists right now in this moment. It's just a matter of feeling your way into it. It's a matter of releasing the blocks and the limitations, the walls that we build through our perspective and our beliefs that cut us off from that. It really is only a matter of releasing the blocks, opening the doors, allowing it to come in, allowing yourself to receive what is already here now. Remember, it is safe to trust the guidance of the desires of your heart. They were put on your heart by the divine, and miracles are happening through you all the time. Life is working perfectly for you right now. When you think thoughts of love and joy and happiness and fulfillment and peace, and most especially gratitude, you will easily and quickly grow into your highest timeline. But I recognize it's not quite as simple as just thinking happy thoughts. We have to work on the unhealed trauma, the beliefs, and the subconscious programs established by the older parts, so then we naturally have those positive, resourceful thoughts and beliefs. Notice anytime you tell yourself, oh, life is just this way, or it's always been that way, or I have to do this thing, those are old programs. Those are tied to traumas and limiting beliefs. Those are your blocks and your limitations that are keeping out your miracle that is here now already. Look at the stories you tell yourself. Notice how old they are and be willing to start to tell a new story. Declare now in this moment, my miracle is here now. My restorative experience is here now. I can experience the life of my dreams, and it starts right now. Allow yourself to feel the expansion and the excitement and the joy that can come from understanding, receiving, and allowing this message to be true for you. Start to send love to everyone around you, especially your highest self and your highest timeline. Learn how to hold yourself through the transition. Be kind to yourself. Be loving. Be that nurturing mother or father that you wish you had. And start to feel into where you are aligned and where you are misaligned. Anything that feels like crap is pointing to a limiting thought or belief, something that is untrue. So allow yourself to do the perspective dance and find the thoughts and perspectives that feel aligned and true. Notice that skeptic that wants to challenge it and say, oh, that's just what you think, or that's just what you desire, or that's what you want to think, or that's what you want to be true. That is a liar. Don't let it stop you from your dreams. And remember, this is a daily dance. Moment to moment alignment and recalibration is necessary. This is a skill that we're learning how to do, just like brushing our teeth or going to the gym. The more you continue to do it, the closer you will find yourself to your highest self and your highest timeline. And if you are still struggling after practicing all of these steps, you might want to check out my video on integrating your shadow to get to know those parts who are trying to hold you back and protect you. I love you, my friends. I will see you on the next one.